Good morning. I'm sorry I'm late today, but I am back. I may not come when you want me, but I'm always on time. Good morning, everybody. It's Happy Friday to everyone, man. I hope everyone's doing good. Sorry for myself running a little bit late. It's amazing to me how when I have it's my fault too. You know, it's my fault because I let these damn kids stay on the electronics too much in the morning. It's my fault. And so when it's time to get out the damn car or get out the damn house, their mind is mush because they're thinking about the YouTube shorts and all these other things and the games they're playing. This is all me. This is me as a dad. I gotta do better because these kids are making me late. It's my fault. I'm gonna do better. But nonetheless, hopefully we can make up for it today as we talk about Texas, the wide receiver room, and everything that's going on. The women, though, hold on. Before we even get too far to that, ladies basketball. What's up, Harges? Ladies basketball is tonight. Texas women's basketball on deck this evening as they play against South Carolina. We don't have to tell you how good that South Carolina team is. 6 p.m. As Texas goes into the Final Four. I'm excited. I know all of us are going to be watching this one, and of course, you know, rooting for the ladies to just do their damn thing. I mean, you look, you make it to the Final Four. For me, you gravy. Young people, y'all say Gucci or something like that, right? That's what y'all say? I don't know. I don't try to stay young. I just try to be myself. But the ladies, tonight is going to be a fun matchup going against that South Carolina team. We already know what there are, but Texas has had success against them this season. So it'll be interesting to see what happens. I mean, we definitely don't want to repeat of what happened in the SEC tournament. We don't need that. that was rough. But hopefully ladies do well tonight. It's just a great time, man. It's a great time to be on the 40 acres, man. Just a lot of success that these programs are having. You just turn around, you look around, and it's the women's basketball team's doing good. The baseball team does good. Softball does well. I mean, you just go through the swimming team is doing well. Rowing's like they're all killing it. They're all kicking ass. So props to the ladies tonight. Hopefully they come out with the dub and advance and get to the championship. I mean, y'all made it this far. You might as well just complete the journey and go ahead and bring it home. But nonetheless, man, I tell you what, going into that room, like, could you imagine just going into that room when like all these Texas coaches and everybody's just like, I won this, I won that, I won this, I won here. You're like, damn, you better step up. Hey, Flo, you're on deck. I'm just saying. All right, anyway. So we got that going on tonight. And then, you know, it should be kind of a light weekend from a Texas football perspective. I was told that there's no scrimmages or anything that's supposed to be going on this weekend. So, you know, as they kind of ease into spring football and really making sure that they focus on fundamentals, not really going crazy with the hittings and all those kind of things. It should be kind of a light weekend for the football team. They did have a first week in pads this week. Nothing too crazy that's come of that. We'll talk about the injuries and some other things as related to that. No new injuries, by the way. No. So clear. No new injuries. Nothing new injuries. Rodolfo says you need to bring out the belt. Don't. Rodolfo, you trying to get me arrested now? You can't do that anymore. My mama, listen. All of y'all who got the belt back in the day, y'all know your parents would be so locked up for so many years for the stuff they used to do to us. I mean, your parents would be locked up. Your friends would be locked up. I know Green Lantern and everybody. Mike Torres, he's old school too. I know we got whooped by everybody. It was. My mom would say, you can whoop him at your house, and I'm going to whoop him when you get to my house. I'm like, how I get two more. Now I get two. They can't do that nowadays. Nowadays, you can call somebody and get protected. I'd be too scared to call CPS on my mom. That wouldn't end that well. Okay, so let's have a conversation like this. It's Friday, Fiesta Friday, man. Well, we're going to end this weekend in a good mood. For those y'all don't know, and those of you new to the show, Fridays is kind of a lighter day for me. I think we've all had long weeks. Just long weeks, stressful weeks, just dealing with the job and all those things that entails, dealing with the kids and all the things that entails, and just dealing with like life in general, right? We all got things that we're dealing with, right? And so for me, Friday, man, let's just smile, let's just laugh. So Fridays for me is a little bit more of a lighter day. So I don't want y'all to think like, oh man, I turned on the show, this dude's just clowning. Like today is more of a kind of chill, laid back day. I want y'all to go into the weekend feeling pretty happy. So when we set the conversation as relates to, catch the belt, Mike. That's the worst thing. Who was the comedian that made the thing about catching the belt? I've caught the belt, and you don't want to let go, but you know you gotta let go. And so, yeah, catching the belt is kind of the word. That is the worst when you catch the belt. Your best thing to do, what I learned to do, man, I just was basically like faking my death. Like I acted like I was just dying. In the end of the day, though, I think the whole corporal punishment thing is stupid anyway. I don't know. I don't really think it helps, but that's a different conversation for a different day. So the conversation, though, let's have a conversation about receivers. And Texas went out and they signed a bunch of studs, right? They signed they signed Jamie French. They signed Khalil Lockett, right? They signed Michael Terry. And that's really, if we're being quite honest with you, if there was a big three for y'all, for your hip hop fans, right? If there was a big three of this receiving class, that guy would be that would be your big three, right? Michael Terry out of San Antonio. Man, his clips, his everything, like everything about Michael Terry, just absolutely like I just love. Still wish he would play tight end, but nonetheless, Michael Terry, there's just everything to love about him. Versatile, fast, big, all those kind of things, right? And then you got Khalil Lockett and you had Jamie French, right? And so, again, part of the big three, right? But blank the big three, because it's just big me. This is what that's kind of turning into, because Dalen McCutchen is the guy that I continue to hear great things about. And I'm talking about just fantastic things about. I was talking to some people. I heard some things last week, right? And I think I passed that along to you. But I also heard some more things this week about him. To the point where I was like, hey, y'all, we need to talk about this. We need to talk about this. Because Dalen is getting the opportunity, with DeAndre Moore being out, Dalen's getting the opportunity to play a lot at this moment. And out of all the freshman receivers who are out there, and listen, so we're clear, it's April 4th, 2025. And I don't know who's going to watch this in the future. We are such a long way between now and August, okay? So this is one of those things I keep telling y'all, just take mental notes, right? Don't overreact to it, but just take mental notes, file this away for the future. So these things kind of come about in August and September and October or whatever, you can say to yourself, okay, all right, I'm kind of, school me on this months ago. It's kind of like when I told y'all last year that Matthew Golden, when he was getting in here, when he got here, just had like an instant connection with Quinn. And I was like, y'all just file that away, because I know everyone's talking about Isaiah Bond and what Silas Bolden may be able to do and some of the incomings. I know everyone's talking about Jonte and things to that effect, right? But at the end of the day, Rodolfo's guy, right? Rodolfo's guys. But at the end of the day, Matthew Golden ends up being that dude, to the point that, he might end up being the first receiver that's taken, right? So I'm just saying, like, I'm not predicting like, oh, this is what the end result of Dalen's going to be. But if you want like, okay, spring practice report, and you ask like, well, who's standing out on that side of the ball? Who's the guy that Arch may end up having a rapport with? Ends up being Dalen. Now, there's a couple of interesting things as relates to him that it's important to know. So with replacing DeAndre Moore, he's usually running in the slot a lot of times as a first teamer, right? So you see that. But what I've heard is that the staff is also doing something kind of smart, which is they'll have him run certain days with the, as the number one guy in the slot. And then they'll do an alternate day where he's running as the number two guy on the outside as an outside receiver. So they're working him inside and outside. It reminds me a little bit of the Trevor Goosby thing from last season, right? So Trevor Goosby was the backup right tackle, right? As you guys know, he was pretty much the backup right tackle for all last season, and then started going into the season. And then the staff decided, you know what we're going to do? We're going to start there's going to be certain days where Kelvin Banks is not practicing. And we're going to have Goosby run as the starting left tackle, just in practice, right? And you thought to yourself, okay, well, that's just just being versatile. What we didn't know is as the season would go along, guys would get injured, and all of a sudden, those first team reps that Goosby was taking in practice became really important, because then it wasn't like he's just a backup right tackle. He was actually became the backup left tackle, who then became the starting left tackle, right, when it was necessary. So I see kind of the same thing. Again, just mental notes right now. Just mental notes right now. I'm just taking mental notes. It's April. I'm not putting anything in concrete, but it's a mental note at this moment. So you got Dalen running and with the ones and the twos as a guy that they're looking at. He's been described to me as phenomenal. He comes to you as this really interesting conversation, right? He comes to you via the way of Margin Hooks. And if you don't know who Margin Hooks is, he is one of the premier wide receiver trainers, not only in the state of Texas, but in the country, right? And you could Google him. He produces tons of Division I prospects, 1A and even below after that. Like he's bona fide. And it's really interesting because we're in a time and place where I just believe that if you do not have a top-notch receivers coach before you get to college, you are really behind the eight ball. I'm not saying you're a dead man walking, but you're in trouble, because you need to be pretty much a finished product before you get to college. Why? Because if you take too long to develop, what these coaches are going to do is they're going to go out and go to the transfer portal, and you're going to have to sit year after year after year waiting to see if you get that opportunity. And at that point, you can just get passed over. So unless you have an elite person training you at receiver, you pretty much are going to you'll sign somewhere, and then your ass is going to sit. So when someone gets a guy like who's trained by like a guy like Margin Hooks, I say to myself, oh, okay, this guy's bona fide. He's going to make sure that this person is ready to go. And typically, if you're trained by Margin Hooks, 9 times out of 10, that kid is ready to go when they hit a college campus, right? They're ready to go, they're ready to excel. So I've seen this thing with Dalen that, guy was committed to Florida State, comes over here to Texas. And I always want to say Dylon. I really, really, really prefer to, I wish he would, I hope one day someone can tell me I can pronounce it as Dylon as opposed to Dalen. Because it'd be Dylon, because I spit straight fire. I love it. Y'all can have fun with that in the chats. And so what I wanted to do today For some of y'all who are a little bit unfamiliar with him, I thought it'd be kind of cool. Now, and I better not get a copyright strike for this. I better not get a, because I spent the money on this video. I spent it for y'all. I did this for y'all. I'm seriously. I took it out of my own pocket. I ain't getting a corporate credit card or nothing like that. I use my own debit card, and I bought this video for you. Now, he didn't have any senior highlights, but he did have some junior highlights. And so I'm like, okay, my thought process was, I'm going to talk to y'all about Dalen McCutchen, right? Dylan. But I'm going to talk to you about Dalen. Man, imagine if he blows up, man. You talk about, oh, we could have like his face with the Dylan thing. It's like, who are the greatest receivers on Longhorn campus? Dalen, because I spit straight fire. All right, so let's do this. Yes, man, I'm good, man. Dude, Bars, when you say I'm in a good mood today, I literally am in a good mood today. I'm in a really good mood today. I got a good night of sleep, so that helps. That always helps when you get a good night of sleep. Two, man, I'm just, I was spending time with my boys last night and today, and I'm just being so happy and proud of them. My kid has got my youngest kid. They got like a school picnic today. So, man, I was just in my daddy mode, man. It's like, but I got some Chick-fil-A. Oh, I'm gonna get to this video in a second. But I got some Chick-fil-A. His damn lunch is at 10:25. I don't know what the hell we're talking about. So I went and got him some Chick-fil-A tonight. I'll put it in the air fryer before I head out today. I'll bring it over to him. We're gonna do a little picnic and hang out. My oldest son, he's got soccer tonight, this week, all weekend long. I'll see my girl tonight. So I'm in a good mood, man. I'm in a good mood. I'm in a really good mood. So I hope y'all as well. So check this out. So Dylan, aka Dalen McCutchen. I went and found his highlights. This is from his like junior season, right? And I wanted to kind of share. Oscar said I didn't want anything to do with you. Let me tell you what happened yesterday, Oscar. Okay, so this is what happened. I told you it was first world problems. Okay, this is literally first world problems. I'm gonna get into it. So what happened, Oscar, yesterday? I was in an okay mood, but more than likely, but the thing is that I had like my lawn care people out there. And they was like, oh, we're going to walk around your property. We're going to give you, I got to like get an estimate on getting some stuff done. And they was waiting for me outside. I was like, damn, like I'm about to wrap up this show, but I kind of had to wrap it up abruptly. So that's kind of where that was. But that's why I was like, it's first world problem. I can't tell you like, oh, well, I need to wrap up my show because I want to see how much it's going to cost to get the leaves out my gutter. Like, y'all be like, man, if you don't get your bougie ass out of here. So I didn't want to tell you all that. But here we are. All right, so let's go through this. I uploaded his junior film, and I want to see if we can watch this thing together, all right? And just so y'all get a kind of a taste of it, because I want to set this up too, is that Texas is also kind of moving a little bit more towards having bigger receivers, right? And so there is a little bit of that's been going on, right? Which is, Sark told me back in January, I believe. It was either right before the Peach Bowl, which I feel like it was right before. So it might have been December 31st. So it was either right before the Peach Bowl or it was after that. But anyway, I was asking him about his receivers, right? And he told me that he's kind of moving towards having a little bigger body receivers. That's why you see the Khalid Lockers, the Jamie French, the Michael Terrys, because they realized when they got into the SEC that these guys who are DBs a little bit bigger. So he's like, he's still going to want speed, but like the Ryan Wingo type, right? That's kind of more of the body type that you're seeing. But when you got a guy like, Dalen McCutchen, you break all your little rules, right? When it's all said and done, because you're like, man, this guy's a baller. I don't give a damn. What his size is. It's like Steve Smith. You remember Steve Smith for the Carolina Panthers? You can tell yourself, okay, he's short or whatever. Two things that we know. Steve Smith is going to ball, and Steve Smith is going to throw some hands because Steve Smith is undefeated when it comes to squabbling up. My God, that dude beat up everybody on this team that ever tried to come against him. This dude is amazing. All right, let's go to Dylan, though. Dylan. Lo siento, pero mi español es muy limitado. It's okay. It's not okay. Pero mi español es muy bien. All right. Yeah, speak a little something, something. Speak a little something, something. Don't worry about it. Don't sleep on your now. Well, hold on. I don't like that because damn it won't let me talk on this one. And that's some BS. Hold on, let me try this again. Let me see if I can get this in here again. Hold on. Because if not, this is definitely not what I'm trying to do. I want to be able to talk through this thing. I got a better idea. I purchased it. I got it through. Hold on. This is not what I want. All right, so let's do it like this because I already purchased this thing, so I should be good. I'm going to share this thing. So I'm like, who is this again? It's the guy I'm talking about, Daylon's, aka Dylon McCutchen. Okay. And so again, we're going to go through some of his high school film. He's a freshman here at Texas. He's a guy that everyone's talking about right now as a guy who's kind of been basically standing out here. So we're going through some of his junior highlights here from his junior season. And I'm using this huddle film so you can kind of get this. So let's go back to the last 10 seconds. As you can see, the speed that's here in display, right? Again, this is high school. Again, there, as you can see, he's kind of on that inside, not playing on that outside thing. Like he's more of an inside receiver than anything else. Right. And so now you can see good release. Really, that was kind of an easy. I mean, that DB really didn't have nothing for him at that point. Like that, at that point, when I go back and look at it, I mean, I don't even know if he had to put a move on. I mean, did he even need to? I don't even think he had to put a move. It looked like, nah. I mean, he feinted a lot. That was more just speed against a DB that really couldn't match his speed, right? But what the things that you want to see is that you want to see that on film. Okay. Now this one he lines out as an outside receiver. Kind of little bubble screen here. There you go. Okay. And then now you see him just obviously making guys miss. Again, lining up here on the outside. I do like that he made the first guy miss there. And I do love this burst of acceleration right there. That was actually a good play. Hold on. I like this. I like making that first guy miss. And I like how he operates in traffic. He didn't seem jittery at all. That guy just was able to get him on an angle there. Oh, that's a nice little one-handed grab, though. Hold on. We're going to go back to that. So we see the end of this play. Oh, yeah, that's nice. If you that DB who got did like that, you don't want to see that film work. You don't want to be in that film room when they're showing that one. He did you dirty on that one. All right. I mean, that one's that was a little bit of a tougher one. Let me go back to this one. Yeah, it's kind of hard to see. That wasn't the best angle, unfortunately, because we couldn't really see the move that he put on. But what you can see is the speed. Like at the end of the day, the kid's running effortlessly, even though he's really, really hauling ass. Okay. Oh, that's sick. That was a nice little one-hander. Hold on, let's go back to that. He's got the one hand. He's got he's got that one hand catch down, doesn't he? He's definitely got the one hander. Oh yeah, you can see that the good footwork there and the good speed on this one. Okay, this play's lined up on the outside. Ooh, oh, hold on. Y'all got to see this one again. Let's do this one in slow mo. Oh, my goodness, I can't do it in slow mo. Oh, he basically fakes to the right, comes back inside, and then get you on the one hand. Oh yeah, that's sick right there. That's some sick work right there. Got some blockers in front. Oh yeah, and then now he just uses acceleration at that point. But good patience though, like really good patience when you're able to really go back and look at this. Let's go back here. Yeah, good patience, waiting for the blocker, and then accelerates, finds that crease on a little bit of the right-hand side, and then goes from there. Okay, I'm looking at him going up top here. Oh, yeah, he's just jeez. Golly, what the hell is that safety doing? Bruh. You was safety for a reason. Hold the hell up. Nothing safe about that. Back pedal, move back. Why'd you stop? Oh, did you dirty? Made him stop for just 1 second, and that was all it took to get past him. This one is just going up top. That's great play with man coverage on him. Again, lining up on the outside. You can see he can line up in different spots here. See, there's no way as a DB. Let me tell you. Now, this right here, let me tell you, they say pride comes before the fall. Pride comes before the fall. Look, if I'm this DB, okay, and I see this dude right here, I see old boy on the outside. You know what I'm not fixing to do? I'm not going to underestimate this dude's speed and act like this dude ain't about to blow past me, which is the crazy part. But anyway, he underestimates his dude's speed, thinks he's going to hang with him, and then it gets 3 to 4 yards of separation, and you get done dirty. Just not smart by the DB. Again, I mean, come on! Who is coaching these DBs? There's no way. If I've watched any film on Dylon, aka Dalen, what I'm not letting my DB do, unless I know he's got that speed. You are not playing. We are playing cloud coverage. You're going to have to work the crease. What you're not going to do is actually do man coverage. I mean, this you can see the coaching. This is just pure coaching right here to beat a guy one-on-one. Check this out. Oh, stutter step done. It only took was two steps and it was a wrap. 2 steps and it was a wrap. Okay, see, this is what I'm doing. Play my guy back. Didn't play him off enough. But I'd rather listen. I'll sacrifice that a little bit over this. Now look, at that point, I don't know where the safety is at that point. I don't know where the safety is. He's got no help though. That's just a bad call. He's got no help. Safety can't be on the other side of the field. Again, that's just a great catch and coverage. Great catch and coverage right there. Line again, kind of. Oh my God. This is why this is high school, man. This is why this is high school. They literally lulled this defense to sleep. Look at him line it up here. Look at him just kind of going through the motions. DB is going for the quarterback. It's a good play call. But you can't leave that dude open like that. Like that's just unacceptable. I went back a couple of plays. I'm sorry about that. We'll get caught up in a second. It should be the next play after this. I'm going to focus a little bit on the quarterback and see what he did on this play. Let's see if he's able to get in a bite. Okay. Yeah. I mean, yeah. But the thing is, as a DB though, you got to also know when that pass is going behind the line of scrimmage, it's probably a double pass. You gotta look at that as well. And again, safety, no safety help. Heading up here on the outside. Oh yeah, that's just supreme talent right there. I mean, you can see why every school in the country wanted him. Yeah, and that right there, that slant route. I mean, you've got no chance if he's able to get that crease inside of there. And you know what was good about that route though that he just ran. I'm noticing when he runs that route right here and he breaks to the inside, he was smart enough to get the ball here. And he's still got, he's got a defender on the other side. So if he's not smart, he can run into trouble. But he's really smart enough to just say, let me get this ball here and let me just get into the end zone real quick. I think it's just a really smart headsy guy. And that's the thing that people are describing to me. They tell me he's a really, really smart kid. Just high football IQ is what they've been telling me about him behind the scenes. A super high football IQ. We can see it on a lot of that on display here right now. Yeah, I mean, you've got no chance here. And again, I mean, yeah, you got guys going in different directions. And I like that. You know what I like about that one? Just that last one right there. I like to see my receiver just not afraid of contact. Like just, okay, I know I'm about to take the hit. Boom. It's okay. But I didn't slide or anything to that effect. It was like, what is this, a punt return or something? Looks like it. Oh, we're gonna go Pop Warner on it. We're going Pop Warner. We're going Pop Warner. We're going Pop Warner. Oh, this is that Pop Warner stuff. Y'all remember this? That's a Pop Warner highlight if there ever was one. That's a Pop Warner highlight. There are kids throughout the country who are going to do this tomorrow in their games. This is just he went Pop Warner on that ass. Look at this. Look at this. Will you look at this? Yeah, he did you dirty. That was it. All right. So now I thought, what a good way to really just look at him. Like I don't want to tell you about Dalen, and you're like, who the hell's Dalen? No. That's what he looks like. Praises go up, the blessings go down. I saw that by Torres. My man T, by the way, super chat that came in here while I was off the screen, and y'all gotta forgive me. I got old eyes, so I gotta get closer. So I'm sorry for those of y'all who's watching me in 4K, and my face was all up in your screen. I apologize about that. My man Tito, he goes, freshman will have the biggest impact in the 2025 season. And your prediction for the biggest storyline going into the summer that's not arch related. The freshman who will have the biggest impact this season. All right, well, let me go. My first thought, and I'm just trying to go through the line. My first thought is potentially Justice Terry becomes the first guy that I think of when you ask me that question. I think he's a guy that is going to be there in the mix and when it's all said and done. And I think he'll be in that 2 deep. So he's a guy that immediately I would look out for. Lance Jackson, I have an eye on at this moment. I think he's phenomenal. But I definitely Justice Terry is kind of where I'm leaning towards. I've heard some good things about Cade Phillips, but I know that DB room is kind of stacked. Of course, I know everyone's, Nick Brooks. Sure, he's doing good, but I don't know about him yet. As far as I don't know where he's probably in the 2 deep. But I don't know how much of if he's playing, something went wrong. And I know Nick Townsend is a guy they have high hopes on, but I'm gonna go with. I'm really gonna go with Justice Terry as that guy for me right now. As far as my prediction for the biggest storyline going into the summer that's not arch related, I think the running back room T is going to be one of those things that we look at and start to wonder, like, who's going to be that guy. CJ Baxter, is he? I don't know. What does he look like when he's healthy? Contravian Reisner is in there, but can some of these other guys, like a Christian Clark, when he's healthy, push him for some playing time, right? So I think the running back room is going to be a big one. And I think the thing that, honestly, T, that we'll keep an eye on, kind of I know this sounds crazy, but I think we're going to keep an eye on potentially what happens with the kicking situation. You never know that you need a kicker until you don't have one. And Texas didn't have a reliable one last year. And I think the kicking battle between Bert Auburn and Will Stone is real. Like, I think it's a real battle where it's potentially could be lose or leave town. Like, I'm not convinced. I'm not 100% convinced that we're going to have 2 kickers on scholarships, 2 punchers on scholarship, and a deep snapper. I'm just not convinced that's going to happen. So I think that'll be another storyline. It won't be the biggest one, though, T, but I think I'm going to go with the running back being like the main one right now. And I also think, and I'm going to give you one more. Tracy. It's kind of one of those things that I've alluded to a little bit. I also think that, and good morning, Coach Top. Yo, Top, who they messing with? I do believe there's going to be that Texas is going to be active in the transfer portal when that thing opens in a few weeks. And I think we will be talking about some of the new guys who are coming in. And I do believe that Texas will also try to go after a couple of receivers in the transfer portal. And so I do think one of the things we'll be talking about is who's going to be in that rotation. The thing I was told about, this kind of ties into the receiver thing. Like, they know what they got in Wingo. So I was asked someone this week, like, are y'all worried about the receivers and having like the depth at that position? Because Wingo's got the hamstring. DeAndre Moore is kind of limited and not really participating. And they're like, no, because we know what we got with Wingo. So we know we got who's good there, and we're just hoping that everybody else gets some time in. My mic is clipping. I don't know what that is. I don't know what that's about. I got everything plugged in. So, Jeremy, I don't know what else to do. If it still keeps clipping, then I'll just unplug the mic and I'll just go through the laptop. So let me know if it still stays the same. Let me know if I got mic problems. I shouldn't have no mic problems. This damn expensive ass mic here. See that? This shit. I don't even know how to work half of these damn things. I don't know what most of these things do. I feel like I'm in the studio, but I don't have bars. So anyway, so I was told that they feel good about the guys that they have on campus, right? But they also know that, like, at the end of the day, they got to get Sark some weapons. Like, he's got to have enough weapons to work with. Someone told me, like, there's no way that Brandon Harris is going to let Sark go in and not have as many weapons at his disposal as possible. So I'm anticipating within the next couple of weeks that Texas will be active when the transfer portal opens. Receiver, tight end, defensive tackle. Those would be 3 things that I think you got to keep an eye on as relates to that. JBL speaker. Oh, shoot. It does look like a portable JBL speaker, doesn't it? It does look like one of those. You're right about that. That is absolutely true. So that's that, T. I'm glad. I hope I was able to answer your questions, and I'm glad that not only I was able to answer it, but you didn't have your money go to waste, right? So T's good dude. And the last thing, as it relates to the receivers, I just want to talk about Parker Livingstone again, because he's been having a good spring so far. So he's been having a good spring. He's obviously playing and starting kind of at the outside position, usually out. Well, he was opposite of Wingo, but don't have that as much now. The only thing that I was told this week that they want to make sure that they work on with him is just basically making sure he gets that separation off the line of scrimmage. They told me, like, look, when he could just run scot-free, it's a wrap, right? He's tall, he's fast, like it's a hard matchup, right? The biggest thing though is operating in space, right? Not operating in space, but when you got a DB right in front of you, can you get that separation? That's the thing that they're working on with him right now. And again, when I say working on, that's not like a shot or to say that this guy is not good. Like, what I'm saying? Like it just means that everyone's got things that they're working on this team. And so I think that's just one of his things that they're working on. But they feel like once he gets that thing tightened up, he could be a guy that they can lean on. Now, what does that look like? And again, there's the springtime narratives, and I will always tell y'all with springtime narratives, always just be careful with it. Like, and look, I'm a person that's telling you things, right? I'm telling y'all things that I'm hearing and the things that are happening behind the scenes, right? But at the end of the day, how a guy shines in spring versus the summer and really training camp, those are kind of this is just like a buildup, right? So that's why I keep saying mental note. Just take mental notes right now. Accumulate everything, but don't make anything definitive at this moment. Just accumulate all the knowledge, accumulate everything, have it in your head, file it away, continue to listen to the practice reports, continue to hear what the guys do during the summer. Then when we get to training camp, we'll put it all together. We'll come back to it. And it's like, well, we heard this in the spring, but then this happened, right? For whether it's a positive or the negative, right? It's just notes right now. So as it relates to Parker, good things about him so far. And then again, just little things that he really needs to work on. And yes, about Harges, of course, Arch is doing fantastic. So there's no concerns as it relates to him. I haven't heard one thing that was even of a constructive criticism of him at this moment. So Arch is doing well. And the last time I saw him, which probably was like 2 weeks ago, but I keep hearing things about him. Confidence, making every throw. He's been doing fantastic. So that's probably one box you shouldn't have to worry about checking. That should be a box that you should be pretty good. That should be able to check everything. Nothing wrong with George Strait, by the way, Oscar. Nothing wrong with George Strait. Nothing wrong. A little country. I mean, he might be listening to the fan song. What's that? Where them fans at? Where them fans at? By the way, I'm just gonna let y'all know, I'm way too old to learn that dance. I'm too old. I can't. I like it. Whoa, like I like it. I got my boots on the ground. Like I like it. But I gotta say, I looked at it. I'm like, man, yeah, too many moves, man. I got my base. I got my base of my dances. I haven't done most of them in a long time. It took me a while. I was with a wedding just a couple of weeks ago. Man, I forgot which one was it? One of them. It wasn't Let You Slide. It wasn't Cha Cha. I think Cupid Shuffle. I was like, damn. Which one? What do I got to do again? And it took me a second to remember. Like, it took me a second to remember my dances. Right. So the fans thing, I got no chance for that. But he might be listening to that, whatever that fan song is. But nothing wrong with a little bit of country. And It's kind of good. So hey, my kids got a picnic. My kids got a picnic today. I'm gonna go be a dad. I'm gonna go be a dad. I'm gonna go be a dad. I'm gonna go warm up this. I gotta warm up this Chick-fil-A, and I gotta bring it to him, and then hope they. And the other thing is, so this is the other thing. All right, last thing. We're done with sports. Y'all can hang up. Yeah, if y'all want to get off at this point, you can. But I'm just gonna ramble for like 2 minutes. They've got this thing at the school, the elementary school. If y'all are parents, y'all may know what I'm talking about. The damn book fair. They've been having this book fair all week long. I think my kid has come back with everything else but a damn book. This is the craziest thing. He's got posters, pencils, erasers. He's got like gadgets and toys. And he's like got one book. And he had money saved. Like he had money. He's 6 years old, right? He's had I don't know, he had like $60 or something like that, $60 to $80, because his grandmother sent him some money. So he's had money that's been sitting there. The damn book fair is crazy. So this is the last day of the book fair of a fair that he hasn't bought but damn one book. So we're doing a picnic. There's gonna be one last push for me to spend more money on a book fair. And this last thing is hard because your kids ask you, oh, go buy money for a book. So I got to drop $15 on a book that I know your ass ain't going to read. But if I don't buy on a book, then I'm that dad that don't buy his kid a book. Then I feel like, oh, snap, like I just messed up my kid, right? So I got to go back out. I got to get hustled by the book fair one more time. And then my kid, I'm going to tell you, all right, this is the very last thing. This is so non-sports related. Okay? It's sports related, but it's related to my kid, okay? So my kid, serious, this is random. This is off the rails. I'm seriously. So my kid plays flag football, right? And I don't know if I should say this or not. So anyway, we had our first game last. I'm not going to mention names. We had our first game last week. They won, right? And so, any case, so we get a message on the group app yesterday that says that one of the kids is not going to be a part of the team anymore, right? Hold on, I'm going to find this, right? And hold on, this is you. U Sports is off the chain. So hold on, here we go. I'm gonna read this to y'all. This is crazy. So then U Sports is off the chain. It goes, quick update. This kid will no longer be on the team. His dad took issue with me being on the coaching staff and playing his own son at QB. He also insulted my 6-year-old son, so we won't miss them. And apparently, if you know anything about flag football, right, having your kid play quarterback at 6 isn't really the badge of honor, because basically what you're saying is my son is just going to hand the ball to somebody else. As you get older, you pass the ball, right? But when you're young, you actually don't throw the ball, right? Well, apparently, these two basically went back and forth on text message, basically cussing each other out over 6-year-old flag football. 6-year-old. Dude pulled his kid off the team, cursed out the dad for having his kid. And he's like, hey, the reason I'm not having your kid play quarterback is because your kid is one of the fastest kids on the team, along with Anwar's son. You know, my kid's actually really fast. Actually, crazy. He's actually pretty good. And so he's like, those are the two fastest kids. I need those as my running backs. We may pass the ball 3 times a game. And they started going at each other, like hardcore at each other. And he's all I can tell you is that he said when he was insulting the coach's kid. He's like, so you insulted my kid like he threw a touchdown pass, in the past game. And the dude told him, he said, everybody else on the team blindfolded could have made that touchdown pass. And he said it to a guy, the coach, who's a volunteer. And he literally insulted his 6-year-old son, at which case they start MFing each other, right? Youth sports is off the chain. I have seen so many crazy things in youth sports in my day. I've seen, when we play AAU basketball, and Mike Harges could tell you about this, right? Like, I've seen so many fights between parents and coaches on the same team, right? I had a parent arguing with a coach after a game at the Round Rock Sports Center, and the assistant coach took a swing on the parent. Just out of the blue, just swung on him. I'm separating the fight. This was like, they were like in the 3rd grade, 4th grade. I've seen so many crazy things. What I have not seen, though, is it happen on the 6-year-olds. So I'm super excited to see what happens on Sunday. I cannot wait to report back to y'all. I cannot wait for it. It's going to be amazing. All right, now I really, really, really got to go be a dad. I got to warm up this Chick-fil-A. I got to go see my son. Y'all go out there, do something special for yourself. Enjoy yourself. It's the weekend. I'm in a good mood. I want y'all to be in a good mood. Do something special for yourself. So even if something little, treat yourself to a lunch or something like that. You absolutely deserve it. Life is too short. That's why I always say live each day like it was your last. One day it will be. So go out there, live your best life today. Don't wait till this weekend. Live your best life today. Lord willing, I'll be back here on Monday. Y'all take care. Time for me to be a dad. And time for me to stay out of other people's business. And I definitely ain't going to say nothing about nobody's 6-year-old